I figure I'll just read out aloud, given that we need to fill in time to discuss this missing serial. And we're discussing the Second Doctor's era newly, and this serial introduces Fraser Hines as Jamie McCrimmon, who is ubiquitous of the Second Doctor's era. With the exception of the serial prior to this, The Power of the Daleks, Jamie is the Second Doctor's companion in every single one of his adventures. So let's read out now aloud the bio via the Free Encyclopedia of Fraser Hines. Fraser Simpson Frederick Hines, born 22nd of September 1944, is an English actor. He began his career as a child actor and appeared in A King of New York, 1957, with Charlie Chaplin. He later played Jamie McCrimmon in Doctor Who, appearing in 116 episodes of the series, more than any other companion. He was a regular in the series alongside Patrick Troughton as the Second Doctor between 1966 and 1969, and made guest appearances in the 1980 stories The Five Doctors and The Two Doctors. He also had a long-running role as Joe Sudgeon in Emmerdale Farm between 1972 and 1994. Hines was born in Horsforth, a northwest suburb of Leeds in the West Riding of Yorkshire. The third son of Bill and Molly Hines, his mother was Scottish and came from Port Glasgow. Shortly after Hines was born, the family moved to Harrogate, where his mother ran a boarding house. As a child, Hines went to the Western Board Primary School and then Norwood College. Through his parents attending a local amateur dramatics group and regularly visiting the cinema, Hines discovered a love for performing and began attending the Marjorie Newbury School of Dancing every Saturday morning. It was here that during a performance aged 7 at the Royal Hall in Harrogate that Hines sang the song Louise while doing an impersonation of Maurice Chevalier, which generated newspaper headlines reading, "A young star is born here tonight at the Royal Hall, Harrogate." Because of this success, Hines began attending Corona Theatre School in London, where his fellow classmates included Richard O'Sullivan, Dennis Waterman, Jeremy Bulloch, and Francesca Annis. Making his debut in the film John and Julie, 1955, as an extra in a crowd scene, Hines went on to have minor roles in Moby Dick, The Weapon, and X the Unknown, all 1956. Hines' breakthrough role, however, was in 1957, where he performed the role of Napoleon in a 6-part television adaptation of John Buchan's 1922 novel Hunting Tower. The same year, Hines appeared alongside Charlie Chaplin in the film A King in New York. From 1957 and throughout the 1960s, he performed a steady stream of roles in various television series, such as Jan in The Silver Sword, 1957 to 58. Is that an adaptation of what I think it is? It is. The children's novel. Yes, we read that in school once. Tim Birch in Emergency Ward 10, 1963 to 64, and Roger Wayne in Coronation Street, 1965. He appeared in a 1964 serial, Smuggler's Bay, with Patrick Troughton. With a well-established career in television, Hines appeared in feature films less frequently. However, he did appear in I Could Go On Singing, 1963, with Judy Garland, and the James Bond film You Only Live Twice, 1967. I don't remember him in that, but I tend not to really remember things from You Only Live Twice. It's not a very good one, as it were. Hines auditioned for the part of Ben Jackson in Trent Michael Craze in 1966, but was unsuccessful. Hines' Doctor Who debut came in the same year, when he was cast to play the part of Jamie McCrimmon, the companion of the Second Doctor, played by Patrick Troughton. Originally intended as a one-off guest character, Jamie joined the regular cast and appeared in the series from 1966 to 1969. Hines reprised the role in a cameo in the 20th anniversary serial The Five Doctors, 1983, and a guest star in The Two Doctors, 1985. Hines appeared in 116 episodes of Doctor Who, more than any other companion actor in the history of the series. The only actors appearing in more episodes are those who played the first 4 Doctors. Many of the episodes featuring Jamie no longer exist in the BBC's collection. In 1968, during his 3rd year on the show, Hines released with Major Minor Records the novelty record Who's Doctor Who. Esteemed songwriters Barry Mason and Les Reed composed the music and lyrics, but the record was a commercial failure. Hines later called it the only flop Mason and Reed ever wrote. Hines and his fellow lead actors, Doctor Who and Wendy Padbury, who played the Doctor's other companion Zoe Harriet, decided collectively that the workload of Doctor Who was exhausting them. Fraser was the first of the 3 to announce his intention to leave. Troughton asked him to stay a few more months to the end of the 6th series, as this was when Troughton planned to relinquish his role. The 3 actors remained with the show until the conclusion of the final season 6 serial The War Games, 1969. In the documentary about Patrick Troughton, Hines reported that they all left with smiles on their faces, feeling that their job was done and that it was well done. Fraser attested that he remained in contact with Troughton afterward. Author Diana Gabaldon credits watching Fraser Hines in the Doctor Who serial The War Games and finding him attractive in a kilt as the inspiration for her first novel Outlander, a time travel story set in 18th century Scotland. Consequently, she named the novel's male protagonist Jamie. She says that the character's surname, Frasier, is a coincidence, as the PBS station on which she watched Doctor Who habitually cut off the episode's credits. She did not learn Hines' name until several years after Outlander was published. Up until 2007, Hines was the only surviving Second Doctor companion actor not to have acted in a Big Finish Productions Doctor Who audio play. The others have played characters other than their television roles. In November 2007, he starred as Jamie in Helicon Prime, the second installment in Season 2 of Big Finish's Companion Chronicles. Since then, he has appeared in many more Companion Chronicles, where his uncanny ability to mimic Patrick Troughton's Second Doctor has been welcomed by fans of the show. Hines has also recorded linking narration for many Second Doctor serials which no longer exist in video form. The soundtracks along with Hines' narration have been released on CD by BBC Audio. He also appeared in an audio trilogy with Colin Baker's Sixth Doctor as an older Jamie. In 2013, Hines portrayed both Jamie and the Second Doctor in the Big Finish audio play The Light at the End, produced to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Doctor Who. It's getting a bit lengthy now and I don't want to get blocked, so I'll cut it here now that we're at the end of his tenure with Doctor Who in the bio here. Read the rest at your own leisure if you're so inclined. Thanks again, my good and dear friends.